The world does not suffer from lack of calling. It suffers from lack of competence. Hey, everybody, my name is Dr. Martin Williams, and what I do, I help purpose-driven leaders discover and develop and deploy their divine assignment so that they can reign on this earth without losing themselves in everything else that's going on around you. The world's not collapsing because of lack of resources. It's not collapsing because we don't have enough. The world is collapsing because we have lack of rulers. Now, hold on. When I say rulers, when I say kings, I don't mean people who have power over others. I'm talking about people who have power over themselves. Kings are not discovered by crowns. Kings are really discovered and revealed by patterns in their life. There are patterns in your life that exist right now. And those patterns are not something that you've written down. It's not a playbook for you. It's naturally, intuitively inside you. You were born with it. It's your view of life. It's a sign of your talents and your gifts. We usually ignore those. We ignore those because we see outside of us other people and we sort of want to be like them. We sort of want to have their success, not knowing that I'll never have my success until I'm flowing in my gifts, my talents, and operating in the things that frustrate me a little bit. Undeniable signs that you're a potential king. Number one, write them down so you know. Here's a sign. You're troubled by disorder. You're troubled by disorder. Anytime a king or a queen is in order, kings are irritated by dysfunction. What others tolerate, you feel totally compelled to fix. It makes you nervous when you're in those situations. If broken systems bother you deeply, it is because you were born to rebuild them. Number one sign. Second sign, you naturally bring order without trying. People look to you. You naturally bring order where you are. You organize chaos instinctively. You think in systems, not just moments. Third sign, you feel responsible without permission. No one's asked you, no one's told you to interject yourself, but you feel inside that you're responsible. And that gives you permission. Kings don't wait to be asked. They feel ownership before authority. Nehemiah wept before he was appointed. Seeing what happened breaks your heart, right? Sign number 4, you outgrow environments quickly. Kings feel you outgrow environments quickly. I want you to get that. Kings feel confined in places meant only for survival. Your frustration is not rebellion. It's readiness. It's time to move on to something else, right? I'm not talking about skittish. I'm not talking about being nervous and moving too quickly. Something deep inside you says, this is established and you can do all that you can do. Pick another area that frustrates you and do the same there, right? So 5, you are drawn to developing. 5, big one. You're drawn to development. You're drawn to potential people. You're drawn to potential talent because kings crave growth. Listen to me. People call themselves kings, but all they really want to do is be the king over you. Listen to me. People say they want to be a king, but what they mean by king is they want to be king over you. They want to be king over your money. They want to be king over your jobs, the king over your family, the king over your everything. That's not a king. A king goes above everybody, becomes the umbrella, and makes life better for everybody so that they can become. Kings don't control you. They release you into calling, into purpose, into power, into success. A real king will serve you and not use your gifts and talents just to build his or her thing. Please hear me so that you understand what I mean when I say a king. You crave growth in other people. You crave growth. You crave mastery in others. You crave understanding in others. You don't just want success. You want excellence in your life and in the lives of others. That's what you want. Desire of responsibility is evidence of royal DNA. You want that for others. So which of these signs, my question to you, which one of these signs actually describes you most clearly? That may be God, that may be Creator, that may be the King of Kings really confirming what you've always suspected. I've known something was in there. Now I know how to find it. Identify it and don't ignore it. Let's talk about development of kings. When a king is really in place, when a king gets into his or her space, amazing things happen. But here's what another thing happened that's not so amazing. Anytime a person is put in charge of something and they're underdeveloped, that's when chaos breaks out. Because underdeveloped kings create delayed solutions. Undeveloped kings create chaos. Undeveloped kings create unsurety. Undeveloped kings bring a lot of smoke and fog into the room. Things are not clear. And you get very little, if anything, done that is progressive. Because the king in this position is underdeveloped. Why? Listen, a king who knows who he is, but hasn't developed his gift and skill. A king who knows who she is, but she's not developed her gifts and skill. Not other people's gifts and skills, their own. That person now is going to lead whatever the organization is into a dark place. We have to deal with this. Potential. Why? Because when we have potential without preparation, it becomes frustration to ourselves and to others. That's why I coach. I coach people to actually really find out, discover who they are, develop who they are, and deploy themselves in the right sections of our world and our life. That's when life changes. So I've decided to give my life to those 3 words. That's what I do every day. People like restaurants, McDonald's, people like other great businesses. They understand what their talent is, but they have heavy, empowered systems to develop leaders, develop C-suite, develop CEOs, COOs, chief information officers. Because you have talented people who have gifts and skills. You have a talented quarterback that's on your team, but they have to be trained. They have to understand their gifts. They have to be called. They know they're called, but they can be acting like they're untrained. David was anointed, but still needed a cave to develop him. Joseph had big dreams, but he needed the prison. He needed to be accused. He needed that training field that would develop him. So calling reveals who you are, but development really determines when you are ready. That's how that works. Here's the hard truth. The world does not suffer from lack of calling. It suffers from lack of competence. The worlds around you are not suffering because you're not called. They could be suffering because you're not trained. You haven't been equipped. Everything inside of you hasn't been brought out. So now you're reacting to things. You're not leading things. You're reacting to everything and everybody around you. That's not going to work. If you're called, get trained for what you're called to do. Have coaches, have people can have a sit down, shut up card, someone who can call you, someone who can say, I don't think that's the right decision. Someone you can call before you make bad decisions. That's what's really needed so that now we can have trained leadership. Because the world suffers without that. We don't really need more inspired people. Love inspiration. Inspired people are wonderful. But we need more skilled, disciplined, submitted, empowered people. That's very, very, very important. Gifts without mastery collapse over time under pressure. Passion without process literally eventually burns out. Passion, but not process. You get worn out. Vision without execution becomes noise. We don't need more noise. Your gift is not just for expression. It's for service. Kings serve through their own personal excellence. Subscribe to my channel and go ahead and watch the next video.